evening. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, October 14th, 2016. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. The President of the Republic of Albania, Ilir Meta, has returned the integrated waste management law, arguing that it is in conflict with the Constitution. The President listed 4 reasons why he returns the law to Parliament. According to the President, the law rejects the European Commission directives, and that it's not an obligation that stems from the Stabilization and Association Agreement. Also, based on data gathered from meetings with civil society and the Association of Recyclers, the President argues that 83% of Albanian waste is not being processed by recycling companies, and that waste import will only deteriorate the situation and will increase environmental pollution. According to the President, the waste law conflicts with Article 59 of the Constitution regarding a healthy environment, adding that Albania also risks illegal entrance of toxic waste. It is clear that Albania does not have the infrastructure or human capability to monitor and control waste importation, and there is the risk of illegal entrance of toxic waste does exist, argues the President. Mr. Nishani also mentioned that the accelerated procedure followed for adopting the law did not provide information in a transparent way and was adopted without citizens' participation. The President reasons that the small number of votes it received to get approved, only 63 votes, puts forth the question if the law is actually constitutional. After this return, the majority will need 71 votes to repeal the President's decree and to leave the law in power without making any changes to it. The Alliance Against Waste Import commented on the President's decision to return the integrated waste management law to Parliament. The Alliance representative said it was not a surprise for the law to be returned, but warned of the citizens' reactions. The Alliance's rep declared that the citizens will continue to protest the law, but he did not specify whether the Alliance will escalate its protests or if it will gather signatures for a referendum. He asked members of Parliament not to vote on the law during its review in parliamentary commissions. Last week, some representatives of the Alliance Against Waste Import held a meeting with President of the Republic to whom they expressed their arguments against the law. And they expressed their determination to cooperate with anyone who says no to importing waste. Speaking at a conference on the independence of electoral bodies, which was organized by the Central Election Commission, the Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta asked for open lists in the upcoming parliamentary elections, a system which is not known to be on the platforms of the 2 largest political parties, the Socialist Party and the Democratic Party. Mr. Meta argued that even though the open list system is difficult to implement, it guarantees a democratization of parties and a fair representation in Parliament. The Assembly Speaker also made a surprise proposal, reducing the number of Parliament members. Another problem which I will take into consideration if I am re-elected as the SMI chairman is the restriction of businessmen in Parliament. The participation of businessmen in Parliament and public offices is a problem. Also, I think that the number of MPs is higher than necessary. I think the number should be reviewed for a better functioning Parliament and a better quality of parliamentary commissions, Mr. Meta said. The Central Election Commission's chairwoman asked political parties to continue working towards realizing the electoral reform as soon as possible. Mr. Meta declared that he will call 2 chairmen for the Electoral Reform Commission in a meeting. Prime Minister Rama deems the relations between Albania and Serbia to be very low. Speaking at the Albania-Serbia Business Forum, the Prime Minister began his speech relating the event of October 14, 2014, when a drone with the flag of Greater Albania appeared in Belgrade Stadium. He used the event as an example of how the relationship between the 2 countries has changed. Prime Minister Rama said that more efforts are needed to increase trade and exchanges and investment levels. The Prime Minister also declared that eliminating customs barriers is important. He continued saying that regardless of political differences, the Serbia-Albania relation is moving in the right direction, with the aim of improving the lives of citizens living in both countries, and invited Serbian businessmen to visit Albania. Our aim is to turn our borders, which separate us, into bridges that connect us, declared Prime Minister Rama. The Serbian Prime Minister stated that enhancing the relations between our two countries will only bring benefits. Business owners have been faced with prejudices. I think that it's important that we behave with rationality. Regardless of political differences, we have reached a point of good faith and we want the friendship between our two peoples to develop. We are also connected by the upcoming EU membership, and we think that advancing our relations with Albania will only bring benefits for the Serbian people, the Prime Minister of Serbia declared. The director of the World Bank for the Balkan countries, Ellen Goldstein, was present at the meeting and called on regional countries to create a joint market if they want to enhance the economy. The Balkan countries need to have a steady economy, and for this they need to trade more goods and services. The Western Balkan countries need to develop faster and to open jobs for their young people so that they do not leave their countries, Goldstein declared. The energy community has urged Serbia to find a solution in order to put the Albania Kosovo interconnection line into operation as soon as possible. The concerns were raised by the representatives of the Albania and Kosovo. The Energy Council decided that Serbia must find a solution to this situation by December 31st, 2016. The energy community filed a lawsuit against Serbia on Friday in accordance to the complaints by Albania and Kosovo for the interconnection line between the two countries. This decision was made at the summit of Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, where the 14th meeting of the Ministers of Energy was being held. Albania was represented at the meeting by the Minister of Energy and Industry, Damian Gjiknuri. In order for the interconnection line to function, it is required that Kosovo's transmission system is recognized by the European Transmission Network. So division of Kosovo's transmission system from Serbia's transmission system should be recognized, which is part of the negotiations and the dialogue between Pristina and Belgrade. This is a serious step that the European institutions have taken against Serbia, who continues to fail to meet the obligations assumed in the Brussels Agreement for granting independence to Kosovo's transmission system. The Democratic Party chairman, Lulzum Basha, held a meeting with the Democratic Party structures in Gromsh, where he reiterated his accusations against the Prime Minister. In 3 years, Edi Rama has managed to criminalize the state, to cover Albania with cannabis, to increase unemployment, and to leave public wealth in the hands of corrupt people, declared Mr. Basha, who also spoke of a depreciating business climate. The Democratic Party chairman emphasized that agriculture investments are at their lowest level in the past 20 years. Investments in general are not being made where the citizens need them most, but where Edi Rama can easily steal. In 3 years of governance, there has been only poverty for the farmers. In 3 years of his governance, Edi Rama has not given any subventions to farmers and is urging them to take loans in banks, added Mr. Basha. The DP chairman also accused the Prime Minister of making efforts to destroy free and honest elections and accused the government of corruption in the healthcare system. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.